So right in front of me is a TV that's not so smart and very basic. The ability it has is to only have more than one device connected for outputting video to it with no ability to install apps, connect to the internet, etc. However, there are devices out there known as digital media players, which are basically network appliances or entertainment devices, and one product that falls into this category is the Apple TV. So in this video, we are specifically going to look at this little guy right here. The Apple TV 4K 2nd Gen that was refreshed back in April of 2021. Let's see if this is the right piece of equipment for your entertainment center. To start this video off, let's take a look at the Apple TV itself. On the top, it just says Apple TV using the logo to stand for Apple. It has a nice smooth feel to it and almost a matte finish, but not glossy except for the text and the logo. Now, on the front, you have nothing. Same on the left side, and on the back is where all your ports are located. Starting with the one on the left is your power port, which is also where the power supply is located, built in by the way. HDMI for outputting to your TV, and then a gigabit Ethernet port. Rotating this to the right side is, well, you have nothing. But as you can see around the edge of this box is a glossy, smooth finish. Flip this guy around, you're greeted with another Apple logo and a rubber finish so it doesn't slide on the surface. Spec-wise, you have the A12 Bionic chip, a Wi-Fi radio that's 802.11ax or Wi-Fi 6 MIMO, which works with both 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz wireless frequencies, and Bluetooth 5.0. Everyone has a purpose to purchase something, right? So then, why did I purchase the Apple TV 4K? To be honest, it's to replace my mid-2010 15-inch MacBook Pro that I use for the sole purpose of watching YouTube videos on my TV. Before, I was using the MacBook connected via a mini DisplayPort to HDMI adapter and then ran an HDMI cable from there. It was a nice setup, but the problem I had is this MacBook had dual graphics technology where it'll switch between integrated and dedicated graphics depending on the task being processed. The NVIDIA GeForce video card that's built into the logic board was starting to go out because the MacBook will randomly crash, presenting the kernel panic, and then force restarting the entire computer. I bought this used 6 years ago from Today and later on learned this was a known problem for these machines at the time. Fixes I found were to get a new logic board, and I felt like that route wasn't really worth it due to the age of the technology and figured let's try something new that I've never owned or used before. Hence the reason how I got into the Apple TV ecosystem today. Just to simply watch YouTube videos on my TV while I can relax and lay in bed. But you can also do more besides YouTube. Like if you have a Mac and it's on the same network as your Apple TV, you can stream video to it from your Mac. Or even better, either start mirroring your Mac screen to your TV or use it as a second monitor with your Mac. You do have the ability to watch live TV, but that requires actual subscription service with a cable company of some sort. Otherwise, there's also streaming services that you can subscribe to, like Hulu, Netflix, etc. I personally don't use those as there isn't really anything that I like to watch off of them as of now. How's the picture quality when viewing content? Well, for this model, you'd have to have the right TV for the best picture, which luckily I have a 4K TV and the quality is great. Full 4K resolution, and I'm able to watch YouTube in 4K quality if they're uploaded that way. Whereas before with the MacBook, I can only view up to 1080p. Sometimes it won't perform well, and I have to drop it down to 720p. It's not a huge deal if you're fine with the picture, but it's something I definitely noticed. Now, at one point of my ownership, I did notice animations got a little choppy when downloading/scrolling, but it wasn't too bad, although I wouldn't recommend trying to download a bunch of apps while attempting to multitask with other parts. To use the Apple TV, you will need a remote which comes with the new Siri remote. This is what it looks like, and let's take a quick look at this. We'll put that off to the side. So at the top, you have the power button for both the Apple TV and the actual TV itself, as long as it's supported. And this little hole is a microphone for using Siri. You also have the touch-sensitive click pad, otherwise you can use the buttons as a normal D-pad. This arrow is a back button, while this TV-looking button is for accessing the Apple TV app or take you to the home screen depending on how you have it set up. Of course, you have the play pause button, the mute button, and a volume up and down button that controls the actual volume of your TV. On the right side, you have a dedicated Siri button for voice commands or dictation, and on the top is your IR sensor for the remote to communicate with the Apple TV. At the bottom, you have a lightning port, as this is how the battery gets charged for this remote. Of course, on the left side, you have nothing, and on the back, you have the Apple logo. From what I've heard, the previous generation of the Siri remote was horrible, although I never used it to see that point, so this new one apparently is much more improved. Now, this isn't the only device that you would use to operate tvOS, which is the operating system built into the Apple TV. You can even use your stock TV remote if it's supported, although navigation may not be as quick, but you can also use a video game controller for navigating and playing games properly. An Xbox One controller, PlayStation, you name it, they work. All this connects via Bluetooth, and you can even connect Bluetooth headsets should you want to use headphones for audio and not wake anyone up within your household. By the way, what do you think of this video so far? Be sure to rate it down below. And if you think this content is interesting, hit that subscribe button to see more from me. Alright, what's it like to use the Apple TV? I must say it's an interesting product, and to be honest, I don't regret purchasing it. I will admit though, I don't utilize a lot of different services out there to take full advantage of this box. I could have gone with other and cheaper alternatives that serve my purpose well, like Roku for instance. But really, if you're already in the Apple ecosystem for home and it works, then stick with it, right? And the OS reminds me a lot of iOS. Simple and easy to use, although I wish there was a bit more customization. Plus, it's a benefit to not have to rely on the mouse and keyboard for navigation. Gives me an excuse to stay in bed, right? Well, okay, I can't be that lazy. I mean, come on! What amazes me is that I was able to play a game that's out for Xbox One, PS4, and a couple other consoles too. The developer had an iOS and tvOS app available that I believe ran better than the copy I have on my Xbox One. Load times were significantly faster, but then again, the Xbox One has an HDD type hard drive versus an SSD, so that can come into play. Either way though, I was impressed with how the built-in hardware makes games perform well, and to play with a full-blown controller, even better. Now, if you are thinking of purchasing one, how much will it cost? Well, there's two models. First is the Apple TV HD, which is not 4K, for 32 gigabytes at $149. Second is the Apple TV 4K for either 32 gigabytes at $179 and for 64 gigabytes at $199, which is what I have here, by the way. But you can decide what's best for you based on how much you're going to store locally on the device itself. For me, I thought, well, just in case, I got the full 64 gigabytes, but may not use all of it since you can't connect this thing to a computer and transfer stuff in between. Although the HD model has a USB-C port, I'm not sure what you can fully utilize that for. Now, all of these do not include an HDMI cable, so you will need to supply that on your own. I mean, come on, Apple. But anyway, moving on. Now, if you have a previous generation Apple TV, from what I've heard, you may not need to upgrade to this newer model. Previous generations of the current models Apple is selling do support the latest tvOS 15 update, so all those features they announced a few months ago, those models will support too. You should be fine. Now, after using this and experimenting with the Apple TV for about 4 months now, was this for me? Despite not taking full advantage of all the amazing services out there, I still say yes. But is this for you? Depends on your needs. And if you don't have a smart TV, or maybe you do and just don't like using it, hey, this works. But really, this type of category of electronics is more meant for those that utilize streaming services and desire to watch them on the big screen. I for sure didn't need it, but I wasn't really a fan of navigating within the apps preloaded on my smart TV, so this seems to work better. Plus, I have another Apple device, Mac, iPhone, and they all work together. And if you're in the same setup as me, then this is another benefit for you. It's better than having a full-blown laptop connected to the TV if you don't intend on browsing the web on a big screen. Use the mouse on your bed and, well, you get the idea. It meets my needs for a TV very well and can use my iPhone SE as a keyboard if needed. What do you guys think of the Apple TV now after seeing this video? If you didn't see any value to this type of product before, do you see it now? Leave a comment down below. Well, that's it for today. Don't forget to rate this video if you enjoyed it and hit that subscribe button and bell notification to be notified when I post a new video. Also follow me on Twitter to see what I'm up to, as if I'm planning to work on a new video, I'll mention it there first, so this way you get a sneak peek. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.